Hello, everybody. Here's another, if you can call it a little rant if you want. I just cannot believe some businesses. Uh, I'm going to explain to you what happened. Again, I'm not giving away the name of this place. I think I remember the name, but it's so long ago, I don't even remember. I had to have a small modification addition done to an appliance. Anyway, this business was coming to do that change for me, and over again, they just didn't show up. You always have a time slot. All right, Tuesday between 12 and 4, Wednesday between 1 and 7, and over again. We book a time slot, no one shows up. Book a time slot, no one shows up. Book a time slot. Oh, we're sorry, let's book another time. Anyway, maybe if it's difficult for them to do it in certain times, then just say this is a guide. It's not an absolute time, or that time slot's not big enough, whatever. Anyway, after a while, I decided to phone them, and I said it's a little complaint in that I'm trying to be reasonable. I'm not shouting, I'm just explaining. I said to the lady on the phone, over and over again, no one shows up. It's sort of like endless. So what's going to happen? Are you guys coming or not? So the lady, she apologized to me, and she this time she said, I will absolutely make sure somebody comes there. Okay, so we book a time. Let's say it's Friday from 12 to 5. She says, but this time it's absolute assurance. It's not could be or maybe or possibly. Somebody will be there for certain. And I said, are you sure? She said, absolutely. It's not even a maybe, not a could be. Absolutely guaranteed someone will be there. This time it's carved in stone. I say, well, thank you for once and for all. Anyway, so I even rearranged my life. I had to cancel bookings, whatever, to make sure I'm home, but in that time slot. Let's say it was Friday, 12 to 5. I don't remember. Anyway, after this whole phone call of promising, there's no way they can forget, because it was assuring and promising. That morning, I thought, it won't do any harm if I send an email and a voicemail to confirm. Then I thought, you're overreacting. After that whole phone call with acknowledging that they made mistakes, apologizing, and assuring me they'll get it right this time, absolutely certain, thought there's no way they can forget. I'm being almost a bit neurotic to think that they might forget this time, but a reminder cannot do any harm. So I thought, it cannot do harm, so just go for it. I sent an email reminding them that we agreed between this time and that time today, and I sent a voicemail confirming and reminding that we had an agreement. It's not just a booking or a scheduling, an absolute agreement that someone's coming. And I can't remember the time, but it was a big time slot, such as between 12 and 5. So I sent them an email and a message on their voicemail confirming that we had agreed, not just made an appointment, that someone's coming. Anyway, those 5 hours, and I rearranged my life for once and for all. Someone's coming. I stayed home for, let's say, I can't remember if it was 4 hours or 5 hours, but it was quite a few hours. I sat home, I waited and waited and waited, and the time just went through and nobody showed up, and nobody even phoned to say, sorry, we'll be late, you cannot come. I just could not believe it. That whole phone call with them was, I promise you, I assure you, carved in stone, no ifs, no buts. That's that whole phone call. It's unbelievable. And the whole point is, I'm not telling them how to do their jobs. I'm sure they know more about their jobs than me. Maybe it is. In fact, I'm pretty sure the nature of the job is it's very difficult to keep to the schedule. Maybe on that driver before he gets to me has jobs where he doesn't know until he gets there how long he'll be. It could be a 2-minute job. It could be an hour job. It could be a 3-hour job. He doesn't know until he gets there. That's why it's so difficult to keep the schedule. But then don't promise me. Don't give me absolute total assurance. just say to me, sorry, we might not be there. In fact, that phone call with my complaint that no one keeps showing up, that was a golden opportunity for them to explain to me. They could have said to me, I apologize. We should have told you earlier that when we have time schedules, it's a guide, it's not absolute, because the nature of this job is it's very difficult to predict. And before he gets to you, that driver has jobs where he really doesn't know how long they'll be, and there's traffic, etc. We should have told you earlier, but we will explain now. That's a perfect time for them to explain to me. But that's not what they did. That phone call was, I promise you, I assure you, guaranteed. I'm sorry we kept missing you before, but this time I will personally make sure son comes there. And despite that, they still forgot. Unbelievable. I just cannot believe it. Anyway, I did not use them again. And they were lucky they were dealing with me. I think other people might have just screamed at them. I just left a message saying I'm not coming back. I should have been more firm, and I think it was within my right. But anyway, luckily no one was harmed, no one was hurt, and I hope they change their policies. Even maybe they cannot come on time, but then don't keep promising people and assuring people. But after that last phone call, I would never, and a reminder with email and voicemail, I would not in my wildest imagination believe they would renege on me again. Anyway, it happened quite a few years ago, and hope you're all doing great. Anyway, thankfully for me, that's plenty of people have worse problems.